So today we will be doing a collab with the Crafty Couple. I'm so excited. I absolutely love their channel. I remember when they first started posting videos and I messaged them right away and I was like, you guys are gonna be huge. I love the stuff you make. I love your channel. Yeah, they're awesome, aren't they? So if you have not checked them out, make sure you do so and tell them I sent you. And if you're new here and you've jumped over from their channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I love to do DIYs on a budget, and I would love if you stuck around. So please hit that subscribe button and let's get right into it. Hi, welcome back to my channel, According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we gonna be making today? If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, please check out the description box below, and let's get right into it.
Okay, DIY number 1, galvanized scoop sconces. So I originally saw this idea in a catalog from Country Door, and there was a set of 3 for $60. I thought it was so cute and I wanted to recreate it, and I'm so excited because I've never seen this done before, so it's going to be new for everyone. So I was walking through Dollar Tree and I saw these scoops in the pet section and I thought they would be perfect for this. So I am taking Elephant Chalk Paint by Waverly and I am dabbing it on with a makeup sponge. I'm getting good coverage. I'm not too worried if I miss any areas because I will be going back with several different layers of different colors. So this will allow me to have my galvanized effect. I'm going to start with this gray and then I will move on to black and then a silver. So right now I am taking this paintbrush and I'm going in these little crevices in the back just because that handle is going to stick down a bit and I didn't know if you could see it, and you know I am crazy about finishing all sides of things. Okay, so I wanted to show you that I did it at first with the paintbrush and how that didn't look right. So make sure you use a sponge of some sort. Use a kitchen sponge, use a makeup sponge, use some sort of sponge. So I'm showing you, I'm just dabbing it through and it just changes the whole effect of the way it looks. So when I'm going through here, I want to tell you that I did have the sponge a little damp. It was not wet, but it was damp. And I think that gave it a better effect. And I'll show you that here. So I'm taking Waverly Chalk Paint in black and I'm doing the same thing. Now you notice how it is so, I don't know, like has all those circles, which I didn't want that look. So I take my sponge and I dip it in a little water and then I dab out right here. I'm doing that and I'm dabbing out a little excess. And I'm telling you, it made a world of difference. Just see that? Just keeping it damp. I will be going back over this. I just wanted to show you how I started out and how I just kept layering. But keep your sponge damp once you get to the black. So now I'm going in with the Folk Art metallic paint. It's like a silver. And when I first started putting it on and I'm using that same sponge, I didn't even change it. I thought, yeah, that looks cool. That's giving me that galvanized look. But as it started to dry, it really looked like galvanized steel. I couldn't believe it. My husband came downstairs to see how, my craft was going. And he's like, where did you get those scoops? I'm like, the Dollar Tree. And he could not believe they were not metal. He did not know they were plastic. And I showed him the back where I didn't paint, where I was going to glue it. And he just could not believe it because look at that. And as they kept drying, they just looked more and more like real galvanized steel. It was just really cool. Right here, I'm taking some of that elephant and I'm going over where it got a little too, I don't know, silver. So I am taking these lids to cans, like these are just regular sized cans. I need those to put, and you don't need them, but I wanted them to put at the base where I'm going to put my candle. you can lay a candle in there, but I liked it to sit more flat rather than in that scoop area. So now I'm taking this burnt umber and apple barrel paint. I got this from Walmart, and I am taking a piece of that sponge now where it was, because at this point it's dried up and gross. It's the next day. I'm going over and I'm just touching anywhere that I think it would look like it would tarnish or rust or anything like that. So all the edges, and then I go in the center area of that scoop. I do the handles, things like that. But I just love how these turned out. So yeah, this technique just worked out so well for me. And you really, if you're not right on top of those scoops, even if you are on top of those scoops, they really look real. I know I keep saying that, but I guess I'm proud of myself. So here are the two. Now I'm taking these Dollar Tree cutting boards. I have 2 of them. If you don't have the cutting boards, just use whatever scrap wood you have around the house, or even find a piece of Dollar Tree board, something like a sign, paint it brown, something. I'm sure you have something lying around. Don't go out, please. Use what you have. So I'm using the Waverly Antique Wax, and I am just giving this a good coat. I do go back and give it an extra coat, and I will give these a good sanding before I put on the scoops. Right here, I am measuring where the center is. I will move up that. I'm showing you that I will glue that little flat part, but I will move up where I'm going to glue it once I put my glue on. It's a little low at that point. And I am showing you I'm using my Fix All glue from the Dollar Tree. I do love this stuff, but make sure you do not mix it with the hot glue because they don't mix well, and they don't work as well. So I'm showing you here, put that around the outside. The Fix All will hold it permanently when the hot glue will hold it instantly. So that's why I made a little circle and then a big circle around it. Do not mix them. I held it there in place until I thought it was pretty good to go. And then I did the next one. I kept it next to it so I knew if I'm putting it at pretty much the same height, and it was good. So I'm just showing you here that I'm using some Vaseline to put on the outside of the Fix All glue. You can do that to any of your glue, and that will make sure the cap comes off the next time you want to use it. So I did the same thing. Circle, the middle circle was the Fix All, outer circle was the hot glue, and just held it in place. Okay, now I am going to show you. See, so good. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I hung this. I took a tab from a soda can and I put it on the back with some hot glue, and then I just took some burlap fabric and put it over top a few times. It's like part of a ribbon, and I just held it in place until it was pretty solid. I wish I would have used my sawtooth hangers, but I made a mistake by putting on the scoop too early, and then I couldn't nail into the back, so I had to resort to hot gluing. So now I'm taking some twine and I was just burning off the fuzz and then wrapping it around these small candles from the Dollar Tree, and I just stuck a little leaf in there. And now I am taking some boxwood and I just took a little sprig of it and I just put it right next to that other leaf, and I can show you here that it will stay just like that. However, I just feel like I trust it to sit up better with this stand on it. I will not light these candles. It is a decorative piece and I don't trust it enough to put a burning candle in there. So unless you have battery operated, I wouldn't use it for a real candle, just because you just never know, and I don't like it on the wall like that and it burning. So stay safe and don't do that. Okay, so now I am just gluing that on with some hot glue. That's all I used, and I just used that little building block from the Dollar Tree's building blocks, yeah. And I put that right on the bottom and I just laid that in with some hot glue. You can see what I'm doing right here. And that just gave me that flat base that I wanted. Again, you don't need to do this step. I just liked it. And now I'm just taking off any extra hot glue, and then I'm going to go back in with any extra colors I need to make that look like it's part of the scoop. So I'm going back in with, I believe here I'm going back in with some burnt umber and just touching up in places. Yeah, and it stuck really well. Let's take a look. I hope you like it as much as I do. And now we are moving on to DIY number 2, 4-pot boxwood tray. I am taking this shadow box from the Dollar Tree and I'm just ripping out that middle. Please save those circles because I use them for a lot of things. I also save this sawtooth back, the hanger, because I use it on other projects. So right here, I am going to just remove the backing, just push it out and it comes right out. I will take this self-adhesive shelf liner from the Dollar Tree. It's like a contact paper, and I am just going to put my piece in there, make sure it's the size I need, and then I'm going to cut a little square, and I will just take off the backing and stick it right on to that square. Press it down, and then I go around to the front and make sure I got all bubbles out. So I'll just pull it up and then push with my hand and it gets pretty smooth. The only thing is that little center had where that other circle thing was stuck on there, so it's sticking up a bit, but I don't mind that because I just think it looks like rougher wood. Now there is a shine to it, so I'm trying to get rid of that shine, and I'll show you how I do that in a second. I'm just taking this Waverly Chalk Paint in white to give it a whitewash look. I go over it this way and then I will go back with a damp paper towel. When I say damp, like slightly damp, not wet. And I'm just going to kind of like remove any thicker strokes or brush strokes on there. And I do go back with a piece of sandpaper, and that even takes away more of the shine, and it just kind of blends the white with like the paper, like it just blends in better. So I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm taking my blade and I'm just going around it and just ripping off any of that excess, and it just works out perfectly just like that. Super easy. If you don't have one of those blades, you can use a scissor as well. So now I'm taking my Waverly Chalk Paint in white and I'm giving this a good coat. I do go back with some Waverly Chalk Paint in Elephant to give it more of a gray edge, but then I go back over it in white again because it was a little too dark for my liking, but I'll show you that in a minute as well. So I'm taking these Dollar Tree Terra Cotta pots. They are the smaller pots. You get 3 in a pack, so I needed 2 packs to have 4. So now I am taking the Waverly Chalk Paint in Moss, and I will give this a very light coat. I do not want it fully covered, and you will see why, because I go back over these pots with maybe like 4 or 5 different colors. So first I'm going to start off with the moss, and I did not know I was going to go over with all these colors to begin with, but I realized I kept wanting something different. In the end, I loved them, but in the beginning, I just kept saying, no, that's not really what I want. No, that's not really what I want. So I just kept changing it. Now I'm just going over with a light coat with the Waverly Chalk Paint in Mineral, and I love this color, Mineral. It's kind of like a gray khaki, the best way for me to describe it. And here you can see me going over it really lightly with some sandpaper from the Dollar Tree, and that gives me that blended effect and takes away some of that shine. And yeah, I love how it looks when you do that. See, it looks kind of like rough wood. Love it. So now I'm going with my Waverly Chalk Paint in Elephant, and I want to add some gray, gray effect to the wood. I do end up adding too much and I don't like it, so I go back after I put the back on. I kind of waited too long after I put the back on, and then I add some more white. So if it starts getting a little dark here in gray, you can see later that I do lighten it up a bit. Okay, so now I'm just taking some hot glue and I'm just putting it right in the corners, and that will hold this bottom in place. Will you get to see the bottom a lot? No, you hardly will get to see it. But if I want to use this tray for something else, that's why I did this. I have that really cool wood bottom, and yeah, so I love the way it looks just like that. And here you can see I realize, oh, that gray is too dark. I noticed it once I put in the faux wood bottom. Okay, so here I'm taking the Waverly Chalk Paint in white, and I'm going to give these pots now a light white coat. So now I have on, so what do I have on it? I have the moss green, then I went with the mineral, and now I'm adding some white. Yeah, I'm not done yet. Those pots are not done yet. You can see they look really cool because you can see some of that terracotta showing through. But now I decide to go in with the agave. I don't know if you've seen recently, I've been using that agave a lot lately. I used it in my scale. I used it in that little striped house I did recently. I lightened it with the white, but I love that agave. So I gave that a light coat on all those pots as well. Now I'm taking the Waverly Chalk Paint in white, like I told you, and I went back and I'm just lightening it up because, yeah, I wasn't loving how gray it was looking with the faux wood bottom. I keep saying wood. It's not really wood, but it looks like wood to me. All right, so now I'm just adding that. Now I'm taking this raffia from the Dollar Tree, and you get like that big package where it's like a hot mess in the package, you know what I'm talking about, and you get it in the floral section in my Dollar Tree. So right here I am just tying it around these pots a couple of times, putting in a knot and cutting off any excess, and I'll do that to all 4 pots. So cute. Love. All right, here is how you get it in the package, but if you make it wet, it will straighten out. So here, $19.99 for this garland from Hobby Lobby. It is like a boxwood, and I like the coloring of it, so why I used it for this, because I liked it with the blue of the agave and the moss, and I just thought it looked really pretty. I'm putting in some Spanish moss, and that's it. So the next thing I did was I took this spiral game from the Dollar Tree. I got it around Christmas time, and that's really all it is this cool spiral thing. And I am using my clippers, and I'm just cutting off a piece of that, and I'm going to use it as the handle for my tray. Now you could use a handle on either side. I decided to go right down the middle, and I'm going to show you how I adhere it. So right here I am just straightening out the sides so that it goes like straight up on the sides and then loops around and goes straight back down. So I use my handy dandy stapler gun, and it doesn't go all the way in, so I just use my hammer to kind of push it in. I did 2 staples on either side. It doesn't look the prettiest, but I am going to cover that up with some ribbon. See? I just did 2 on that side and 2 on that side. Then I put all 4 pots right inside, and that's it. I did put the raffia ribbon right at the top just to show you what it would look like, but I do take that off when I display it. So I'm taking this lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I just put it right around the bottom just to cover up those staples. And that's all for that. Just to put a little hot glue on it, wrap it around, put some hot glue right on the end, and just flatten that down with my finger. Just be careful because the lace obviously has holes in it, and I don't want you to get burned. So I'm just going to cut off any excess there, put a dab of hot glue, and press that down. And that's it. That will help cover up the sides, and you won't see those staples. So then I just take a little piece of twine, and I'm just going to glue it right on the front just for a little added touch. And there you go. And this is done. I hope you like it. And here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video. I'm just going to recap the DIYs we just did. So first off, we have the scoop sconces. I love these. They're just different. They're farmhouse, they're rustic, and they look really cool. So yeah, I'm so loving these. And the next thing we did were the 4-pot trays, and those are just so spring, fresh. I love these as well. It looks so pretty on my mantle. So tell me in the description box below which one of these is your favorite. I'm going to go with the sconces just because I've never seen that done before. You tell me which one is your favorite. And don't forget to check out my friends, the Crafty Couple, on their channel.
So that's it, that's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you've not checked me out at Instagram over at Catluna Designs, I invite you to do so. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! Hi, welcome back to my channel. So make sure if you've not, so I'm so excited for today's collab. I am crafting with the crafty, no, I hate that too. Welcome and thanks for stopping by. I love to today's collab. We are doing a challenge with